All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Metalloid Edits, and this is a very self-indulgent project I'm doing right now, but this is basically a director's commentary for my film, Evangelion's The Wall. Um, I'm just gonna be talking about some of the background to it and some of my thought process. Um, there is like no point for me to be doing this. I just wanted to talk about it some more. And I have one friend that thought it would be a cool idea, so shout out to you. You know who you are. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I'm also testing out like some new sound equipment. So that gave me another reason to do this. I'm just gonna be doing this in one shot. I'm not really gonna be editing it much, so I apologize if you know there's any issues or I'm not talking great. Because yeah, I'm not great at this. Um, but yeah, this is the beginning right here. And I mean, I guess the best way to start this off is to just talk about how it began. Um, so in I think it's like November of 2024 was around when I started working on this. Um, I was getting back into editing because a lot of my school projects were having me do that, and um, I mean, edits have started to like become really popular on social media, you know? Um, it used to be, you know, it's like AMVs and stuff, but now it's full on like crazy edits on like movies, games, TV, all that. So I dipped my toe back in and I did a few of them, and it was super fun. And, you know, I did like a Serial Experiments Lane edit, those maybe like 2 or 3 minutes long. And after I did that, I was like, why don't I do a full album? That's the necessary, that's a reasonable next step. Um, but my how I've always worked is I kind of do one or like two to I choose between two different kinds of editing, where it's either based on a feeling, and so I'll take clips from any show, game, anything, any media, and put it to a song to get like a feeling I have, or like this one, I hear music and I'm like, ooh, this fits really well with this show. And anytime I'd listen to Pink Floyd, I was like, I think it just goes so well with Evangelion. I mean, there's plenty of Pink Floyd Evangelion AMVs already. And people have even talked about the wall in relation to Evangelion. Like it's always been there, but yeah, just one day I was listening to the wall like I have many times, and like I was like, oh, that song would go really well with Evangelion. And the next song played, and I was like, that one would too. And eventually it just spiraled, and I was like, this whole album could go so well with Evangelion. Not just the vibe, but the whole story fits Shinji's character and the rest of it so well. Um, so, you know, this right now, In the Flesh is playing. And when I did this was kind of like a proof of concept. Um, and when I did it, I was just immediately like, yes, this is gonna work. Um, it felt right, like, and I was starting to see like put pieces in my head. I was like, this whole album would work with the show. So yeah, when I got the idea, then I didn't actually jump right into it. I kind of I planned out most of it actually. I listened to the album again and I started thinking about the larger story beats in Ava, and I was putting them to the different songs. So that was how I planned it out. Like I was like, okay, we're gonna get to, this next song is the Thin Ice that would go well with episode 2. Mother would go well with Shinji and Misato, so on and so forth. Like, I wanted to plan it all out to just make it easier and to again kind of confirm that I feel like the idea could work. Um, and I was really nervous about it because I I do a lot of art, but I'd say most of it doesn't really see the light of day. Um, I've stepped away from drawing quite a bit, but when I was doing that mainly, if I didn't complete a piece in like 1 or 2 days, it probably then would be abandoned. Um, and it wasn't even that I like was disappointed in it. I just my mind couldn't stick with it. It was always moving on to the next thing, or just got tired of it. Um, so when I took on this project, I was like, "This is really big," and obviously it did end up being really big because it got done in October. I think I released this, so nearly a year of work, on and off. Obviously, I was in school, and then I went on a trip to Japan for a month. So there were definitely a lot of periods where I wasn't working on it, but still, a lot of work, a lot of time to it, and I was worried that it wasn't gonna come out. But I don't know, something about this one. I was just, I knew it would work, and I was having a lot of fun with it too. That's the big thing. It was just always fun. If I wasn't working on this, it was what I was thinking about when I was in classes. I was like, I want to get back tonight and work on it. Um, and so, yeah, it was just one by one, each song getting closer and closer to being done. Um, it did get a little, definitely bigger than I expected because the album is like an hour and 20, and this is 2.5 hours. So I'll definitely talk about that. Um, I mean, like right now, it's been pretty, we've gone through in the flesh, and this is the thin ice. It's been pretty straightforward. I love that part, by the way, where the emergency sign lights up, and it was like to the drums. That that was a difficult thing. Was sometimes getting sounds from the show uh into it, like that scream from the Ava, you know, iconic sound, and it's so cool. I really wanted to include that, but I really wanted to make sure that none of the music from the show bled through. And that's not to say that I don't like the music. Shiro Sugisu is like one of the best composers ever, and I love the Ava soundtrack. I just felt like all the music should be Pink Floyd or related to that. Um, yeah, so sometimes I couldn't use sounds I wanted to, but then towards the end of the project, I found a means to like separate the, I guess the uh, dialogue and sounds from the music. Um, so I do wish I maybe knew about that at the start. There were some things I went back to the beginning and changed, but um, I probably would have done more. So maybe it's best that I didn't, because it might have gotten even more bloated. All right, so this is another brick in the wall, part one, and again, the planning phase. Like, I'm listening to the album, I'm like, okay, this whole section, uh, also in the movie, The Wall, it's about Pink in school. Um, and I was like, okay, great, that pairs so well with beginning of the show. Shinji has to go to a new school, um, and get acquainted to that. He gets bullied, but also he's getting trained at Nerve as like a child soldier. So I kind of portray Ritsuko as like the evil school teacher in a way. Um, Rewatching the show, like that was when I'm doing this project. I had to basically rewatch the whole show because I'd watch through the episode and then pick out sections that I was like, okay, I think this is vital to being in the edit, because the objective was to always, it wasn't just to make an album length AMV, it was to tell the story of Evangelion through Pink Floyd's The Wall. But anyway, rewatching it, I forgot how much Ritsuko fucking sucks. I really hated her on this rewatch. Like, she was such a bad friend to Masato, and she's awful to these kids. It, I, it was crazy. So I definitely took some shots at her in this edit. Yeah, I kind of just kept this whole scene in because this is pretty, it's just a I don't know, a light instrumental part of the album. This was also my first time going through the original dub of Ava because I watched it on Netflix the first time, which has the new dub. And for this project, it was just easiest to get this old dub. Like, you can find it pretty easily online. But also, most like adamant or like big Ava fans seem to prefer this dub. Um, I really like this part. Sorry. Bam. This was such a fun song to edit to. That part always makes me laugh. This dub, I I don't know, man. It's all right. There's some stuff that's like really bad in it. So yeah, there you go. Like certain teachers, put Gendo and Ritsuko. But yeah, I feel like some of the main characters, like I think Shinji and Asuka do really well. Gendo's good. Um, Misato took me a minute, but she's grown on me. It's some of the background characters that just the some of the dubbing for them is really bad. Yeah. Second Angel. I wish I knew all their names. I really don't. Or I guess that's the fourth angel. Whatever. Second Angel we encounter. You ain't an Ava fan unless you don't like know the entire lore. If you say you do, I don't believe you. This is one of the most iconic songs on the album, I'd say. Maybe the most. I mean, this is like the only one they really play on radio. One thing I'll say about these earlier parts, I mean, this is all so far. This is only the third episode, I think, and we've gone through, I believe, 5 songs. So not a lot of content covered in the number of songs. That's gonna speed up in a little bit. Um, but that was intentional. I don't know. First of all, I really like the beginning episodes of Ava. They're honestly some of my favorites. Um, but I feel like middle Ava, I still love it, but it's definitely Monster of the Week territory. So there was a lot more I could, I guess, cut. One thing about editing is it's really satisfying when, like, I guess, what I'm mainly trying to do is sync up to like the beats in the song and such, but sometimes that would just unintentionally work. Like you wouldn't even have to do anything. It just happened to cut at the right time or um, fit the timing I needed. Like I think for the end of this song, the Shinji like stabbing it, it just synced up really well. I really like this part. Yeah, I really wanted to keep the sound of him sliding down the mountain and the scream. Uh, like this is one of those moments where I maybe, probably not honestly, but I could have like separated his like screaming and the sound effects from the music, but I kind of like it just being the guitar because I mean, come on, Gilmore on that guitar, the best. People who say they want to pilot these things, how can you say that after watching this? I mean, I still kind of do. I don't want to fight these things, but you know what? Let me pilot a robot if it's the end of the world. I'd probably pilot a Jaeger over an Ava though. An Ava is just so terrifying. I think the Jaegers are really cool. Like, yeah, this is another moment just synced up really well. You have the phone in the background, but he doesn't call. Yeah, and there's our first break. Of it didn't need to be so high. That was something I added at the very end. Was the title cards. Um, I don't know. Once I realized the length, I was like, I think I want to add some like chapters or I guess like some checkpoints to it if people need to take a break. Um, and I don't know. I thought it was cool. Um, there's like a website that just generates Evangelion title cards. I think it's called like Ava Title Generator or something. Um, it's really easy. I'd recommend it. It's free. Um, and I almost just used titles of the songs, but I thought it was cooler to use like some of the lyrics. I think it fit more with like style of Evangelion titles where it'll be like an entire paragraph. All right, here we go. This is like contender for my favorite song on the album. I love this song so much, and that becomes really clear once you see that. I'm not sure how many times I use it in this edit, but it's a few times. Um, in my opinion, I think it is like I think it carries the themes of Evangelion the most. Like I don't know. For me, it is the song of the film. It's the most important. Um, and when I did this part of the edit, I think this was where I was fully confident in the project because I would rewatch this and I'd like tear up a bit. Um, like yeah, I'm really proud of this one. But yeah, it's just I don't. Evangelion is it's so much about mothers and fathers too, but I think mothers especially. Um, there's a lot of like imagery with the child returning to the womb, and um, I can't remember the exact name of it, but like the when the child is like breastfeeding and just like leaving the mother, like I mean, obviously Shinji has like 4 or 5 mothers in the show. Um, yeah, and Masato and Shinji, they have one of my favorite dynamics in this show. It's so complicated. Like, he's, you know, Misato wants to be a mother for him, but she just is not cut out for it. Um, it's hard to be when you, your father wasn't really there. I can't remember if she says what happens to her mother. I think she does. Sorry, I've seen this show many times now because of this edit, but I'm blanking. By the way, the scene with Kensuke, the rebuilds cut it. Hated that. It's one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, it's a really rough relationship for them. Yeah, I love that. And yeah, it's in the lyrics. Like, Mama's gonna help build the wall. Like, I just think it's the most important song. This guitar riff is incredible. Unfortunately, this is maybe one of the only instances, or maybe not one of the only, but um, I didn't have enough content for the full song, so I actually had to like cut it in half, and I kind of hide the stitch with having that audio play over it. Really sad because again, I love the song, but it had to happen. But yeah, this part I rewatch it, I get teary eyed. I love this part. I think Basato's dub actress, that's such a good delivery. But yeah, I love that part. And then we get into Ray. Once again, still going pretty, like, just straightforward with, like, the episodes. Ray mentally unstable? No. Couldn't be. What could be wrong with her? I also had the several friends that watched this all they all said to me that they hated Gendo like more after watching it. They were like, I forgot how much he sucks, and yeah, I was happy to hear that. I was like, good, more hate towards him. Gendo, I think, is actually better in the rebuilds. I like what they do with him in that fourth movie. Um, but yeah, in this, he sucks. I don't care. I don't think anyone would defend him, but yeah, he just sucks. We got Goodbye Blue Sky. I'll be honest, I this is maybe my least favorite part of the edit. I knew that I wanted Ramiel to be empty spaces, um, but I wanted still, you know, the setup with Ray, her introduction. But I don't know, it's still fine, but I don't think I do anything too great in this part. It's pretty straightforward. Like, I practically go through this whole scene for just this song. And I mean, it's a good scene. It's important. I mean, I know that sounds maybe odd to say considering what happens, but it it does, you know, it shows that Ray is just really weird. It's like complete opposite of Asuka, you know. Imagine if the roles were swapped. I don't think Shinji would leave this room alive. Yo, did you see that rainbow? It's like Dark Side of the Moon. I've had a couple friends be like, "Oh, what album are you doing next?" Probably fucking none of them. I love this project, but oh my god, I don't know if I could do another one. I mean, nothing could be bigger than this. Like, the wall is just ginormous. I like Dark Side and Division Bell, but I honestly can't think of like another thing that would work well with them. I mean, obviously Dark Side and Wizard of Oz, but I don't know. I just hear Pink Floyd and I'm like, that's Ava. All right, this is another one of my favorites. This is a part I went back. I took out the music. Um, but yeah, so this is one instance of I decided to take the version from the movie for this. I'm not going to say that I prefer this version of Empty Spaces. It was more that I really like What Shall We Do Now? And I thought it worked really well for this Ramiel section. You do lose that awesome transition into Young Lust, but, you know, sacrifices must be made. This part, when I did this, I was like, it's fire! Bam! You can hear a bit of the music peeking through on this one, which, I mean, you could definitely hear that, which is annoying, but I couldn't. I kept trying to get it out and it wasn't working. And I didn't want to sacrifice that blood curdling scream and the sound of the laser. It's just so cool. Boom. Obviously, Ramiel, one of the best angels. I mean, the show does it, but also, like, I wanted to maintain. I think the build up to the fight, so good. Just all that preparations, it's so awesome. The rebuilds do it great too. Obviously, had to keep that iconic line. I'd keep scenes like this because, you know, again, the goal was to tell Ava through the album. And for me, the most important part of Ava is the characters. Um, sorry, this part is so cool. It just synced so well. Like, it just gets more and more intense. Up the pace of the edit is. I loved working on this part. Love the lyrics. I wish this song was on Spotify. To my knowledge, it's not. Bam. Um, yeah, I was just saying, I love Ava for the characters. I think it is some of the best characters, just plainly ever, not just anime, just ever. They mean so much to me. So, what I definitely sacrifice in this edit is the plot. Because, I mean, I love Ava, but the plot is, it's just plainly incoherent. You can definitely figure it out, but it's It's so complicated. It's a good plot, but I don't know. For me, it's the characters that really matter. So that's what I choose to focus on. Focus on Shinji, Rei, Asuka, Misato. Those were the four that I prioritized. This is the first instance I use an instrumental. Um, I should know who did this one. I don't. I have credits in this. Credit all the amazing people I got some of these instrumentals from. Um, they're all on YouTube. I'm definitely gonna point them out again later. This is a great scene though. You're not like him, don't listen. I have that smile, that frame there. A friend got I think it's just a reproduction, but it's like a reproduction celluloid of that frame. And I have that like framed on my wall. It's really cool. I have a lot of Ray merch, I'll be honest. I have that like little plush that's like in all the memes. I love that thing. I think Evangelion is probably the most merch I have. It's that or Monogatari. I have like a lot. Like this part, obviously very important to the plot. I included it more for what it means to Masato. Mainly because I'll bring it up again later, but in End of Ava, I don't know if it's intentional. I choose to believe it is, but the parallel of her dad putting her in that and then her putting Shinji in the elevator gives me chills. I had to sacrifice Jet alone. All right, rock and roll refugee. But yeah, I had to sacrifice Jet alone, which I'm gonna say I really like Jet alone. I don't think that's a bad episode. People act like it's the worst when Magma Diver is the obvious choice. I like that episode. It just there was nothing in it that contributed to what I wanted to do with the edit, so I had to let it go. I'm sorry. All right, Young Lust. Again, in the planning, I was like, this is where I'm introducing Asuka. It just works way too well. Obviously, she's new to Japan, very eager to just fight angels, prove herself, but also Asuka gets introduced and like the fan service and like Shinji's horny levels go way up. And this is the edit or the song, sorry. This is the part where suddenly we speed up. I'm covering a lot of ground with this song, which this made it one of the longest ones to work on. I feel sad that Magma Diver is in here, but not Jet alone. But the scene, I thought it just worked so well with the song. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're it moves very fast. Sometimes I'm like maybe too fast, but I was just trying to cover as much as I could. When I've asked people, they've said it's fine, so I'll trust them. Ba-da, ba-dum. Ava has some of the best explosions too. But yeah, so how what we've gone this is like the fourth episode now I'm getting through with just this song. I'm including Magna Diver because basically just skipped it. I love the way Ray drops there. I really liked how this part came out with the editing. It just like all came together really well. And that's one of my favorite Angel takedowns they do. So cool. Another one. This one's obviously great. I wanted to keep in originally some of the discussion Shinji and Masato have, of like her talking about her father and why she does what she does, but I just couldn't really find a place to fit it in. Again, worked really well to this call coming in. Same with the song. It was on my rewatch for this edit that I never really like took into account how they show people coming back in after having evacuated. I think that's a really cool detail, but it's also so funny. I can't imagine having to do that. It'd be so annoying. Yeah, I do want to say again, I should know her name, but Asuka's dub actress for this one, I think she is better than the new one. She does really well, and I like that a lot more German is incorporated. Bozo. Look at this dumb fuck. Yeah, so now we are quite a bit further into the series. Forget which episode this is, but you know, definitely in the double digits now. Yeah, Young Lust covers a lot of ground. Dude, this guy sucks. Oh my god. Okay, what about your son? He wants to know his mom a little. Crazy. That's crazy. Oh my god. How does he get home? This place is huge. I don't get it. Why are you running away? See, it just fits so well. I knew I wanted to replace this with some song, and I chose Comfortably Numb just to kind of, you know, set it up a bit. I think right next to Mother, it's like the most important song. Well, maybe there's another one at the end. But I was also inspired greatly. Like, I can't undersell it. There's a um on YouTube you can find a performance of the entire wall. It's a stage play, but it was done for like a school. It is brilliant. I highly recommend checking it out. But they had um an interlude with like the wall before the actual song then came later. So I'm I gotta give like, you know, uh I can't think of the word. Thanks to that, I don't know. Credit. That's I'm gotta give credit. They do a lot in that production that I think is so cool. Um, they also use us and them in it, and that also influenced far later in this edit. But I was saying, yeah, like, why are you running away? I mean, obviously, Shinji is always running away, so yeah. This album, it just works so well. Just the lyrics, Roger Waters, his lyrics are incredible, and I think they all just work so well for what's happening. Yes, this was one of my turns. I removed the vocals that are at the beginning of it. I really like those vocals, but they just didn't really work for here. But I love like the music that is with the beginning here. It's like the synth. Um, this is another one of my favorite songs, and I was really also happy with how this came out because I wanted it to be about Shinji and Asuka and Kaji and Masato. The Dying Man. Great episode too, by the way. Anymore. And in the scene, Asuka is like, just want to kiss for fun. This scene is heartbreaking to me. I. It's so like subtle and brilliant what they do with Asuka's expression here. Yeah, so sad. Their relationship, it's another one. It makes me really sad. I I definitely, I think they're the best match for each other besides like Shinji and Kaoru. Well, I say best match, but probably not. They have a very unhealthy relationship, but I mean, if they let each other in, I think they could really help each other. Anyway, we're on another angel now. This one, yeah. This is still one of my turns. And again, I knew. I was like, okay, first half is their relationship, then we're going to go into the angel. That part, oh my god. I was so happy with that. With the glass for the slap, but also the helicopter sound is in the song. Yeah, I did. This is one of my favorites I did. Sorry. Again, this is so self indulgent. And I'm like glazing myself, but I thought I did really well with like getting that whole breakdown sequence like in the time I had for this and everything with the angel and this part. Oh my god. Yes, dude. I love that's one of my favorites. I think it flows so well. There's a lot of information in there. All right, then we slow down a bit. This is Don't Leave Me Now. So this one, it doesn't, I don't, the lyrics definitely don't communicate as well. I think I tried a little to get across that I think you could say it's about Toji and, oh man, I'm an awful fan. The class rep. I'm so sorry I'm blanking on her name. I want to say it starts with an H. Um, Hold on. I have my phone next to me. Hikari. I knew it was an H. Yeah. You can say it's a little bar Hikari and Toji. Like, you know, he's pulling away a bit because he's been signed onto the Ava. Um, but yeah, mainly it was just the vibe of the song fits like this foreboding mood that the episodes have, like they set up so well. Like you just know something bad is coming. Yeah, he'll never be balling. Oh shit. I really like how this song is handled in the movie. By the way, when there's the drop, the like animation mixed with the live action, it's so cool. If you haven't seen the Wall movie, I would highly recommend it. I think you can find it on YouTube. It's another one that's like it's really easy to find, but it's pretty cool. Also, where I obviously took inspiration, but I mean the words are put into imagery, so it's easier to I guess relate what's happening in that to Evangelion. They're blonde. They must be American, except for Ritsuko. And then everything goes wrong. I think it's hard to tell, but I put the sound of the explosion in there. I think it's cool that they blend together. I really like this part. Again, I think I got across a lot of information very efficiently with how the Ava takes, or this angel takes down Asuka and Ray. And those shots are the best. Oh my god. He is the worst father. This part worked really well too. Here we go. Yeah, this song just has so much force and anger. Again, I knew it was gonna go for this scene. I mean, come on. Bam! Yeah, I will say so far with the edit, everything you've seen has kind of gone to the outline I had. Obviously, I didn't know how it would come together. I had to watch the episodes and assemble the clips, but again, I just knew, okay, I want this part of the story to happen with this song. And so far, it's all gone, you know, how I did plan it. I will talk about how later in this edit it goes just off the rails. Like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. They should have killed him, by the way, for the show. I know they couldn't, but goodbye, cruel world. This is the end to disc one for the wall. Why do they put him in like free handcuffs? He's a child. Kendo is such a bitch, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. And then he's like, that's a good idea. Get away from him. There's nothing you can say to make me change my mind. Goodbye. Again, it just works. Is there anybody out there? So I think this is halfway in for the episodes, but I know we are not halfway. I know for a fact we are not halfway. I think halfway is like comfortably numb, which is crazy. Because that is not halfway on the album. Toji's voice is like okay in this dub. By the way, is he missing an arm too? I know he's missing a leg. It kind of looks like he's missing an arm too. He might be. Anyway, his dub for this one is like all right. They use the same. I think it's the same actor for the rebuilds, and it's insane. He's like a grown ass man. The best part of him in this dub though is when like Shinji's gonna punch him, and he's like, "Wait, don't hold back." It's so funny. All right, hey you. So I know I did just recommend the movie. I will say it does not have "Hey You" in it, and I was very disappointed by that because this is a great song. It's a fantastic song. I had some friends say this was one of their favorite parts of the edit, which I'm happy to hear. I enjoy this part too. Yeah, it's like literally, it's calling to him. You know, obviously, like Hero's Journey called it adventure, but just yeah, just hey you, yeah you, we need you. It's great, great stuff for Shinji. I know it's like this. He does this and then he still falls down, but obviously, you know, I think a lot of other media would like have this moment for Shinji, and then he's like changed as a person. But Ava has very realistic characters, and getting over your trauma, depression, it is not that easy. Um, but that doesn't negate how important it is for Shinji, and I think he still improves. Like if he didn't have this, like the courage he has here, I don't know if he'd make the decision he does by the end of the series. I was trying to say that's the stone, by the way. So seriously, I tried to like sync everything up really well. Couldn't keep Kaji talking about Masato's melons. It's unfortunate. It's a great moment. And I sync up, drop with this punch. Bam! I love it. Such an awesome fight. Yeah, I also wouldn't pile in an Ava, because really, I get 5 minutes if I don't have this stupid cord. Put me in the Jaeger. Put me in the Jaeger with my bro. When I went to Japan, I got a like the original figure for this angel, because it's one of my favorites. But yeah, it was like from the 90s. So that was really cool. I got that, and then I also got the mass production Ava, again, like the 90s toy. That's the one that like Robin Williams checks out in the that one movie he's in. And then the kid's like, "Oh, he's a good guy, and he fights with the sword." He is not a good guy, little bro. Divided we fall. All right, now it's anybody out there? I think. Is that what I called this? Like episode or chapter, whatever you want to call it. I think so. Again, I don't know. I just still I watched this and I'm like, it's just so cool how well it like goes together. He's stuck in the Seva. Is anybody out there? I love it. Like the vibe fits perfectly. It's just crazy. So the friend I talked about that he thought it would be a cool idea for me to do this. He had never heard the wall before, but he's a big Ava fan. So he was always excited for this project, and I seriously want to say thank you, like to you and anyone that was like really supporting me on this. It seriously means a lot. Like it it really put me in high gear to like get this done. I was motivated to get it done just for them. But when he watched this, he was talking to me and he was like they had to have like uh written it like around this album because it just goes together too perfectly. And I was like, I don't think they did, but yeah, it just feels like that. It's like Dark Side and Wizard of Oz. It's like this guy has to be intentional. It's too good. It's so peak. What do you want? Yeah, I really like the guitar in this song. Oh, and Masato in this episode, I love her so much. Like how sad she gets. Like again, she definitely loves Shinji. I know there's a lot of arguments. It's like is she just using him to get revenge on the Angels? Like, she is his captain. She has to send him out to fight, but I really think she does love him like a mother. She's yeah, I love Misato. I'm sorry, Ano, if you ever see this, I had to cut the like minute long uh audio of Misato getting her back blown out. I'm so sorry. I know that was vital to the plot for you. This was another one I did it and I'd rewatch and always tear up. When I did this one, the entire point of it, it is dedicated to Kaji, but also just his relationship with Masato. I don't think I got as much of them, especially Kaji, as I wanted in this edit, but I really hope this like makes up for it a bit. Yeah, it's all about them. I wanted to put all those moments of them in there, and obviously this part just trying to call her, but there's nobody home. God damn it, dude! It's getting to me. I yeah, it's not even. I'm not. It's not even really what I did with this. It's just yeah, their story just makes me sad. Okay, so I just want to say that part. I put that shot of Kaji there because my headcanon is when Masato looks to the door when it opens. I think she was hoping to see him. I think she wanted him to rescue her, like he rescues Fuyutsuki here. So I don't know. I put that to be even more soul crushing, but I don't know. I was rewatching it, and that's the idea I got in my head. And the animation on Masato here is so good. Like the range of emotions you see her go through here, so good. Really subtle. God damn. I just wanted to sit on this moment. Whew, yeah. And then poor Shinji. I teared up again. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Okay, this the whole planning period, I had no idea what to do about Virulin. And I don't know what happened. I just by the way, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going all off the rails. That part there, the switch of shots from Fuyutsuki and Gendo to then him and Yui, they don't do that cut in the show, but those are like the exact same shot. So I don't know if they were just lazy with that, but I thought doing that cut was cool. Anyway, I don't know, it just brain blast. Like it hit me. Yui is Virulin. I I'm just so happy I had that idea. I think it works really well. I think this song, in my mind, is about Gendo and Fuyutsuki. Like, does anyone here feel the way I do? Like, I am. Does no one else care that she's gone? I am doing everything to get her back. What has become of you? Bring the Boys Back Home was another one. I wasn't sure what to do with it, and I'm not gonna act like this was the best solution, but it's mainly just to set up Comfortably Numb. I think because these last few songs we've pulled away from the main characters, so you know, kind of wanted to bring it back to them, set up the children because we kind of get really into that. Um, yeah, it's mainly just to set up Comfortably Numb. There's not really anything in Ava that can quite equate to what the song is meant to be. But I obviously wasn't going to take it out. It's a really important song to the wall. And then I added this in because, again, from the start, I think probably since Hey You, was like, remember working on this. I just wanted to get to Comfortably Numb. It's my favorite song on the album, and I knew that what I wanted it to be was Asuka, Rei, and Shinji all meeting their breaking points at the exact same time. And so I kind of put that thing with the subtitles, like the words, to because I wasn't sure if it'd be confusing that what I was going for was just playing the episodes uh, in sync with each other simultaneously, like just going through each of them. Because yeah, it is one episode after the other that like they all reach a low. So I wanted this song to be for all of them. I won't lie that I've got bias for Asuka. I love that beat timing. I her episode, I can't remember which one it's called, but yeah, the one where she fights the angel in the sky. It's probably my favorite episode of the show. Yeah, but this one turned out it was I was really worried about it. I'm gonna be honest, because again, it's my favorite song. I was building it up so much. I really wanted it to work well, and I'm happy with it. I know, again, I had a friend say this was one of his favorite parts, so I think it turned out really nicely. You wouldn't understand. This is not how I am. So I had to have all the angel fights in sync. Yeah, this one took a lot of planning when gathering the clips. It took a long time. Obviously, it's a long song, but also just getting it all right, making I had to fit everything in. It was hard. God, dude, this guitar, David Gilmour, man, I love that cut. This part with Karu, I feel like I was just having fun. I mean, I don't even show that Masato was the one spying on him. This is another thing that the dub is for this way better. I can't believe they took out this line. It's so beautiful. and obviously a lot of the visuals start getting way trippier and experimental. Um, Sorry, it's just so sad. I love this part again. I think this song is mostly dedicated to Asuka. But it was gone. Reaches out. I can't put my finger on it now. And then the dream is gone. The dream of Kaji and Shinji. She's just all alone. It's heartbreaking. Shoot, what was it? Oh yes, the visuals get a lot more trippy and shit. Um, and I think that matches the album too a bit. It just gets crazier and crazier. Obviously, after Comfortably Numb, this riff, I mean, it's yeah, I don't know, just the it. I don't know why, I can't explain it. The vibe just fits Ava, and I really wanted to make sure. Besides that single line for Kaoru, I didn't want any sound from Ava in this because this song is too perfect to me. I wanted this song to do all the talking. But yeah, I showed this to my mom and dad, who also have, or not also, they're the only ones that they've never seen Ava. And my dad did make that comment. He's a big Pink Floyd fan. He's what made me a Pink Floyd fan. Um, that he thought like I was getting experimental as the songs were getting experimental. So, and I was like, yeah, it wasn't exactly intentional, but it does work. Bam. Poor Ray. I just love this shit, bro. I uploaded just this part of the edit onto my YouTube. Hopefully, it'll reach some more people. Because I think I'm really happy with it. Yeah, I'll say it. You know, I'm proud of this one. I think it worked out really well. Yeah, had to fit a lot in there. So this part, it's something like this that really added to the runtime. That the edit, um, again, I wanted to communicate the story of these characters, and to do that, I really needed all these scenes. So this is an extended bit that's mostly just the show, and why I couldn't upload it to YouTube. I remember when I first watched the show, I saw this, and I was just, this was my first anime, by the way. Most of my friends know that. If you don't know me though, like, yeah, this was my first ever anime, and so it was a lot for me. And I watched this when I was 16. Yeah, I watched it when I was 16. So yeah, this show just came into my life at the perfect time. But yeah, that scene with Asuka just really took me aback. I like that they put her like the same bandages. Like I'm pretty sure it's like the same fit. They were just like listen, we need you to wear these and be in the hospital for a bit. Just play the part. Cause yeah, on rewatch, I noticed like I like the detail that yeah she takes off these bandages and there's nothing wrong with her, which is impossible unless she's a clone. Yeah. I really like the storytelling that Ano does with Ray. Like you really got to read between the lines, which I really enjoy. Like it's all there, everything her character goes through. You know, like because she's reset now. Like you know, she's lost that love she developed for Gendo, which is obviously going to ruin his plan. But like, there's even a hate now because I think she knows like he kind of left her to die. If you heard my clock, I'm sorry. I'm sure I'm probably gonna listen back to this and it's gonna be so scuffed. I'm sorry. All right. Oh wait, no, there's more. I thought we were about to enter the show must go on. I forgot. This was a change I made a little later. I so okay. I this is you know just gonna be a scene from the show, so I'm fine talking over this a bit. Um, End of Ava. When I got to End of Ava and this part of the edit, this is where it went all off the rails. This is which was incredibly shocking to me when I did my planning, the outline. The outline took me a little bit of time so that I could try and get everything right. End of Ava was maybe the first thing I planned out. In my mind, it was so easy. I was like, okay, show must go on in the flesh. Like, that's going to be the beginning of it. In the flesh would be the invasion. Run Like Hell was going to be Asuka's fight. Um, Waiting for the Worms was going to be instrumentality. The trial was going to be like inside instrumentality and then outside the wall. In my mind, it was just so easy. And in fact, when I did The Show Must Go On, this scene was originally the first half of that song. Um, and now it's not. It's one of the only songs where I had to like completely restart. Um, but I'm gonna talk about so much of the planning for End of Ava changed. Also, yeah, this is the part I used. Oh no, this isn't Us and Them. This is Great Gig in the Sky. Um, Again, this is such a beautiful cover I found on YouTube. It's, piano and it's a violin or cello. I'm so bad with instruments. I'm sorry, but really beautiful stuff. He's such a bozo, bro. I like what? What kind of game that is Gendo on that he got like Yui Ikari, Ritsuko's mom, and then her daughter? What game is he like running that we don't know? What is the secret? be horrible to women and you pull them all. For legal reasons, I must state that is a joke. That is a joke. All right, now we're at the show must go on. I also made the decision to take that scene out of the song because I it felt wrong to switch the aspect ratio in the middle of a song. I wanted to be like after the chapter break like that. Okay, this scene. I had a lot of people ask if I was gonna keep this. I absolutely was gonna keep it. It's a horrible scene, but is it really Ava without it? Like, I feel like we think of it, and this is one of the first scenes everyone goes to. I watched this. I feel like everyone that did just like we were like, is that what I think it is? I know that's not what I think it is. A water balloon. Yes, you just read my mind. But yeah, I'm sorry it had to stay. Okay, and another thing for End of Ava. So, I mean, I can maybe wait till it happens, but excuse me. There are some extra songs in here. And that's because I could call End of Ava maybe my favorite movie ever. I usually say it's Empire Strikes Back, but this is a really strong contender. I think this movie is perfect. It's incredible. There was just so much content I just didn't want to cut. So, yeah, like I think we're now like a little over halfway. Like that really shows like this movie makes up almost half of this edit. The other half is 26 episodes of like an anime. I just I love the movie so much. God, the animation is just incredible. So yeah, it's in the flesh, you know. Obviously, this point in the wall. First time I listened to the album, I was like, "What is going on?" But yeah, it's like Pink is in this like Nazi fantasy or just fascist fantasy where he has control over all his fans and just kind of the world in general. You know, finally have some control. Um, but you know, just this darker tone, you know, kind of fits the shift. You know, we have this horrible invasion. 6-7. Sorry, I that has infected our society. I was gonna make a point on it's like, oh, you know, it's kind of stupid they did that. Like it's one away from 666. Instead, I just saw 6-7. Go to the show. God, those drums. Misato, like, getting up from that chair had, like, more frames than all of One Punch Man Season 3. It's crazy. Okay, also, this is the first time I've had Seal in the edit. Again, I kind of just didn't care about the plot very much. They're important, like, from this point on, really. And yeah, again, I kind of, you know, these guys and Seal, I wanted to be kind of, you know, just this Nazi fascist enemy. If I had my way, I'd have all you shot. And obviously, some of this is a bit out of order, but I knew I wanted these clips of the invasion with the end of the song. Just worked way better. I mean, this stuff is brutal, man. The dub for that part with the flamethrower is god awful, by the way. Sounds like a caveman compared to like the new dub and the Japanese original. It's like an actually terrifying scream. Like they genuinely cooked someone alive in the studio to get those takes. Okay, so we're about to get Asuka, which one problem I had the entirety of planning and doing the edit. Again, I think Mother is the song of this edit, and it felt so wrong that I didn't have it apply for Asuka. Because she fits it so well. Like, her entire character is, like, it's coming from that relationship with her mother. But I couldn't find a, like, perfect way to fit it in. So I took this moment to experiment a little, where I have the instrumental for Mother, and I chose to have like more visually, like maybe what's going through her head, the things flashing, what she's been through, before this like triumphant moment for her. Yeah, I just collected all these moments that I felt like were really important. There she is. Yeah, this moment means everything to me. Asuka's comeback, I love it so much. So then we get back going to Run Like Hell. Obviously, this song is not really, I'm not really using it the right way. It's a pretty evil song, but it sounds fucking hype. And I wanted to give it to Asuka, just beating the shit out of these people. This is one of the like greatest sequences in animation history, in my opinion. The animation for all this is incredible. I love that sweep of the arm. Boom. You better run. So I think, yeah, no, I think originally I was gonna have that Run Like Hell was only gonna fit for that portion of the fight, but I was like, no, I gotta. I think it was just honestly for the sake of time, but also just yeah. I was like, let's get the full fight in here. Now, I don't know if you could say maybe the perspective of the song shifts, but obviously this fight gets a whole lot tougher for her. But she still takes bodies, bro. And I'm sorry, this is gonna be a little rant. I love Ava, and I thank Gynax and like Studio Kara for the work on this shit. Studio Kara is so awful on YouTube, man. Like I some of these no, not for this edit, but previous times I've used this sequence for a video or a meme. I've gotten my footage from YouTube. The full fight is on YouTube, like millions of views. If I try to upload an edited version of it, or like there's a lot of clips of it taken out, it is just blocked everywhere. Like I can't upload it, and that's happened with so many. Again, I've like uploaded portions of this edit, like some songs to my YouTube. So many of them I couldn't do because Studio Kara just will not have it. It's really annoying. Damn. So obviously, I kind of cheated a little there. I used the Japanese scream. Again, Asuka's dub actress for this was really good, but I mean, I don't think anyone can do that scream. All right, this is this is a big moment. Once again, it's just a scene I couldn't cut. I had to let it play out. And I think this was the first time where I was like, I need to separate the audio from the music so that I can use it. And instead, I put an instrumental of Nobody Home over because I guess, again, I kind of wanted that song dedicated to Kaji and Misato. I mean, at least he owned up to it. When I watched, this movie for the first time, this scene meant a lot to me. What Misato says. and his face there. The animation is just so good. I love that line. I think why End of Eva is just such a perfect movie to me is it's completing all the character arcs so well while still being such an entertaining experiment. It's experimental, like what it's saying. But yeah, this is such a perfect ending for Masato. I mean, obviously, in both this and the rebuilds, she sacrifices herself. This scene is obviously very debated, but I mean, people have talked a lot about it. I've always chosen to believe that it's, you know, Masato just doesn't know how to really show love in many of her ways. I mean, her and Kaji couldn't communicate, you know. Same with Shinji and Asuka, but when they were together, their love was mostly physical. And yeah, again, that was the moment I was talking about earlier. The door shutting, her pushing Shinji in. It's just like her and her dad. So I feel like it's like there's some acceptance from her for like her father. You know, it is like she does have that final parental act, you know. I think any parent would do that for their child. All right, not now, John. One friend said they weren't sure about like that scene is so sad, and you go into this, and I can definitely see that. Like, even I laughed there. It takes you out, but I don't know. I feel like that fits the movie. Like this movie is just hit after hit after hit. Like you do not get a break. Um, but yeah, this was a point. I did not have Not Now John planned at all, but I had too much content and not enough music. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So I started looking to other Pink Floyd songs, and I chose Not Now John because one, it's a fucking awesome song, but it's uh also part of the final cut. And the final cut, to my knowledge, is like mostly all cut songs from the wall. So it still kind of fits with the idea of this project. Um, but yeah, mostly it's just such a cool song. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of let Ritsuko's scene pass there. Again, obviously, I didn't really devote much to her, but um, again, great conclusion for her character. Asuka, this guitar. Uh, yeah. Asuka's conclusion is so great. Like realizing that her mother loved her, never really left her, finding, you know, confidence in her ability as an Ava pilot again. Obviously, it doesn't end very well for her, which is really sad, but she does work through those demons before this happens. And I only used what I needed from that song. Used a small portion of it. It's a great song. Really good song. You couldn't have done this earlier. Yeah, I think it's really impressive that this movie, the first half, you know, it completes the arcs for all those characters. So then the second half is basically all devoted to Shinji. Uh, you get Rei in a little bit too, where she, finally has some like independence, self actualization, rejects Gendo, and chooses her love for Shinji instead. Yes, and this is where I had the credits. I did this, because End of Eva has its credits in the middle, and I love that shit. I think it's so cool. It's so good. Um, but I wanted to use, the classic visuals from Fly Me to the Moon. Also, because I don't think I could do the Helix style of credits. Um, and then I chose "We'll Meet Again" by Vera Lynn because that's you know what they're talking about in the song. Also inspired by that play performance. Here's those wonderful artists: Ranjit Sori, Cello Crimson, Justin's Cello Lab. Amazing stuff. They have lots more Pink Floyd covers. They're so good. Brit Floyd, their song is yet to happen just yet. My parents always supported me on this. My best friend Donovan, love you, man. Um, wanted to give thanks for Ano. The show means so much to me, and Roger Waters. This is my favorite album ever. This project, it's and thank you, yeah. Anyone listening right now, anyone who watched it, thank you so much. Like seriously, it means the world to me. But yeah, I made this because it's like just two of my favorite pieces of media ever. Both changed my life. It's dedicated to them. Um, in hindsight, I would probably put special thanks to I'll just to Noah. If you're listening, seriously, thank you. Like you put me like gave me motivation to really get this done before the year ended and to record this right now. So thank you so much, man. And then I thought I'd end it off with that message from the original ending of the show because that is not really in here because I'm choosing more of the end of Ava conclusion. But yeah, congratulations. You dropped something. There was definitely a better way he could do this, by the way. I want to say that. This guy's fucking weird. If a guy, like, said he'd do all this for, like, his girlfriend or wife, whatever, would that be romantic? Like, babe, if you died, I would, like, make a clone with you, like, try to become God, like, destroy the world just so I could see you again. That's commitment, you know? I gotta give him that. They're just making shit up, by the way. And now waiting for the worms. So yeah, obviously we've gone a bit off track from my planning. It's still, a bit close. Again, I knew I wanted waiting for the worms for instrumentality, but there was actually a plan that I was gonna do it, go into like Shinji's mind, as he's contemplating what to do, and then when it comes back out for the Kam Susu Tad section, I was gonna like have it continue waiting for the worms. Hi, Soldier 76. I was gonna have it continue, um, but I'm really glad I didn't do that. I don't think I think that would have honestly been like pretty bad, but I'm a lot happier with what I chose to do anyway. Just gonna activate creative mode. Watch this. It's always so. This scene is always so satisfying watching fucking Gendo. His whole plan fails just like that. I always thought he was smushed by the mask in this scene too. Like it looks like it's just gonna fall on him. Here we go. So the most iconic imagery ever, bro. This is the apocalypse I want to see. So fucking cool. I got the. It's like one of the. I don't know what's. It's like the ultimate collector's edition, like Blu-ray for this series, and it came with like a bunch of like art prints, and one of them it's almost like an album cover of End of Eva, and yeah, it has like this big ray. I guess Lilith, like she's got like the wings out, and it's just so badass. Yeah, my parents were watching this, and they were just like, "Yeah, like what is going on?" Which is the intended experience. A lot of penis vagina imagery at this point. It's like Alien. Once again, scene I couldn't cut. I love this scene so much. I I think it is brilliant. Like it takes from the original finale this kind of idea of like the stage setting, like we're all players in our own performance. This setting, like obviously, I mean, not obviously, but people have pointed out like the hills back there, almost like breasts, and the sandbox is like um, like more of like a vagina. I don't have a better way to say it. Sorry if that's crude, but like, again, just this idea of like safety with the mother. Um, I love the swinging imagery. There's like symmetry to it, symmetry to like everything. Um, the grain. I I love Shinji making the sandcastle. The Yeah, this scene is just, I love it so much. Like, yeah, that shot. I mean, just beautiful. All right, so we're about to reach again something I didn't have planned at all. I knew I wanted to bring Mother back. I didn't know it was going to be at this point, and I also didn't think I'd be using Brit Floyd at all. But I heard this rendition, and I just knew I had to use it. It is so beautiful. Oh man, all this is just so good. But it was a little extended too, and then I even extended it further myself to cover everything I needed. Um, I think it fits the vibe of these scenes, and then later it fits the vibe of the Kamsuser Todd. And I also want to say that I'm personally a fan of the original ending of Ava. I don't think it's a failure at all, but I do think everything that it did is done better here and like just more efficiently. I was lucky enough to see Brit Floyd in concert, I want to say 1 year ago? I think so. If not this year. No, I think it was last year. Um, and they're incredible. They're seriously amazing, there's so many bands that, I'm my dad has made me a classic rock fan. So a lot of the music I like I can't really see in concert. So to have a tribute band as good as them is really nice. Um, I think they replicate the experience of seeing Pink Floyd really well. This is such an emotional scene. And these vocals, oh my god, so beautiful. and then I really raise the audio of the song because this is the crescendo. I was happy I used this song because I think it matched, like, this point happens and composer's Todd starts playing it. It's just like the music does not match what's happening, and I think the same still happens. Maybe not as much. I think the rock and roll still maybe can fit a little more, but it still sounds a little too triumphant, just like, I don't know, very heavy. It's just so much, like, God, man, I love this movie. Ano is just like trying so many different things, and some of them are a little weird and maybe don't work entirely, but I really like to see it. So they can all just die. Ooh, babe. Ooh, babe. Like, yeah, I put the song to these visuals and I was like, yep, this is the one. This is gonna work. I, yeah, just the wings come out. Yeah, God, I love it. I love it so much. Oh, and some of the lyrics just really fit some of the stuff that's coming up. I mean, again, Mother is the song, but um, I'll point it out in just a second. Yeah, it's gonna be this moment right here with him and Masato. Apart. Yep. This poor dude. And I like this. I thought this fits well. The embrace they have. Like, don't you cry. Like, yeah, it kind of, like, instrumentality, it's like so terrifying, but it's like they make it seem like it's so strangely comforting. And that's kind of this song too. Yeah, it's a bit difficult that I was really moving stuff around in the album, but I don't know. I think it's still working. So this is the part I personally, this riff was used earlier, but you don't really hear it because of the dialogue I put over. So yeah, I extended it on my own so that you know I had enough time to make sure all these scenes were in there, and I just thought that this guitar just works better over these visuals. Just insanity. And then I cut back. I thought I did pretty good. And this part, I extend this end, like playing on the guitar. I extended it quite a bit, so I could play all this. Again, moment I separated dialogue from the music, but I really wanted. I love this part. Just all these voices. When I played it for my parents, we have like surround sound in our basement, and it was working, and I was so happy. And they commented like, "Ooh, that was like really weird and cool." I was like, "I know." at the end of this section, the line Asuka gives when the song ends, it is one of my. The delivery has stuck with me. I love it. It's about to come up. That one. Oh my god. The hate. Alright, so another kind of experiment. I decided to bring in episode 25 and 26. Is it just a crazy dream? I'll talk more about choice for that title in a bit, but yeah. I mean, this was kind of, I guess, always the plan, but it just didn't at all, again, happen how I thought it would. But I heard the trial and I was like, oh my god, that works so well for this original ending where like Shinji is being like interrogated. It's like, yeah, in the album, Pink is like putting himself on trial, like he's having feelings, and just all the awful things he's done to, with his mother, his wife. It's kind of the same happens with Shinji. Made sure to put, because he's not really in this, I put Kaoru to just kind of remind what he did. What Shinji did, I mean. That guilt. Yeah, right there. Yes, I used all these shots of like the theater, the setting and stuff, setting up the courtroom, I guess. This song, when I heard it first time listening to the album, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I honestly wasn't a fan of it at first, but now I love it. This one was so fun to edit. Just so many interesting visuals I got to play with. This will not do. Yeah, I'm taking shots at Risco here. Just, I don't like her. The schoolmaster. And kind of put Gendo in there too, because he's also to blame. This is a song I did a lot of, like, trying to imply that these characters are the ones saying the lines. Yeah, like I forgot about these visuals of the episode, and I was like, oh, perfect. I know exactly where those are going. That right there is one of like the most iconic visuals. All right, case 2 is the wife who I knew immediately who it was gonna be. I mean, come on, man. These words just fit perfectly. Him, me, alone. And then the mother. It just worked so well. But I also wanted to put, again, there's so many mothers for Shinji. And then, why do you ever have to leave me? I had a flash of Kaji there, because talking about Shinji, but Also, Kaji, why do you have to leave me? Again, I tried to think just anytime I could, like, just add a little more to why I think that this album is perfect for the story. I tried to sneak stuff in there. There's probably some I forgot to even mention, like, on this commentary. I love that. It's like judgment time. I was really happy I was able to get basically everyone in there. This part is so funny. Defecate. Go on, Judge. Shit on him. I love that. And then I put Ray here because I felt she didn't get like a spot to really shine. Tear down the wall. I mean, the shattering is perfect. And then for this, I reversed the entire, not the entire, but just about all the edit before End of Ava. This was inspired by the movie. They flash back through a lot of what's happened. This was a bitch to do because I had to, export this, render it, all that, and then get it back in here, reverse it. My computer did not like that. Look at all we've been through. All right, here we go. This is, again, just one of those things. Makes this one of my, like, basically my favorite movie. It's just, like, how do you think of this? I can't imagine having seen this in theaters when it came out. So, this is where I use Us and Them, and again, was definitely inspired by that stage play. Because I think it works. It's still a song about, like the bonds we have with others, society, and all that. The hedgehog's dilemma. Kitty. So, you know, as I rewatched episodes 25 and 26, there were just so many beautiful lines and dialogue I loved that I wanted to keep. But, I didn't want to interrupt the trial. So I was like, well, maybe I can get them in this sequence, but then there's dialogue in this sequence I wanted to keep. So I grabbed this. For those that don't know, this is deleted from End of Ava. It was an even bigger live action sequence on with Asuka and Masato. I think Hikari is there. I don't think Rei is there. Asuka's sleeping with Toji there. But yeah, and Ritsuko calls Masato, like, it's real life. It's a world without Ava. It's a really interesting idea. I think it was the right decision to cut it, but they eventually released it as like a little short film with one of the home releases. And yeah, so, deep cut, kind of same with using songs from the final cut. For really big fans, I put this in there. And so it was the opportunity to use all this dialogue that I wanted to include because I think it's so beautiful, really special and poignant. Thought it was a really interesting vibe. Yeah, if you haven't seen this, check it out. Again, pretty easy to find online. Just look up like End of Ava deleted live action scene. Yeah, because I really like this discussion. How like it's important to not let your life be defined by just one thing. You know, I don't think I realized this when I watched it. These ideas, but I think they might have just subliminally like reached me because my entire life was dedicated to school and work. If I didn't get A's, like that was directly tied to my self worth. Um, but I think I've gotten a lot better from that. Obviously, I've graduated, but I work a job now too, and that's important still in a lot of ways to my worth. Um, but yeah, you can't let that one thing define you. Only one who can understand you is you. Take care of yourself, guys. Yeah. And obviously, importance of others in our life. It's just really interesting ideas. Yeah, just I know working through a lot in all this. I like media that is. I feel like I get to understand the creator behind it a bit, and it's very personal, has an identity, a voice. I really like that kind of media. I really like that camera move. Yeah, so that was all that dialogue was from episodes 25 and 26, and then this next stuff is from End of Ava, and that it's synced up with the footage that's from the movie. But yeah, you can tell they filmed that extra content at the same time as all this. It just it fits really well. Like God, this is so cool. Like imagine you're in the theater and you see this. I wonder if anyone like spotted themselves. That'd be so cool. I'm not sure which VA is which there, but yeah, that's Misato, Ray, and Asuka. Yeah, I'm not sure who's who. It's really cool. And this shot is really cool. It's trippy. I think there's a behind the scenes photo with this where it shows that like they're like mannequins. It's weird. Obviously very famous. There's that guy flips off the camera. I like that guy with the plushies too. He's cute. All right, home stretch, folks. All right, this was maybe the hardest decision I had to do for this project. What song do I use for this? So, little background. This scene, this sequence, I love it so much. And the song, the original song that's with it, is probably my favorite song in Ava. I would always play it like after, I don't know, like a big milestone. Like I played it when I finished my finals, like my AP tests, and like I got accepted to my college. Like it is such a beautiful song. It like rejuvenates me. And I was just like, fuck man, what song do I replace that with? I was originally going to do Mother again, but I was just like, no, it's too much. I was looking at songs from the Division Bell, like I just didn't know. And I listened to the final cut, the song, the final cut, and I kept debating, and I kept like lingering on it, and I was like, this is the one. I have become obsessed with this song, and I think the lyrics just are they just fit so well, and how it has these quieter sections and then it rises up. It's just like the original song. I'm blanking on its name, but I just think it worked really well. It also says naked when it cuts to Ray there, which is kind of funny. Like, listen to these lyrics. It's that title. I mean, that's like practically the whole question of this film. Like, that's everything. Could anybody love him? Or is it just a crazy dream? I. Fuck, man. I mean, this is. It's just. It's so beautiful. Yeah, it's like asking these questions, just like. Again, that fear of connection, like opening up. If I open my heart to you, show you my weak side, what would you do? You know? Fucking Hedgehog's dilemma. Part of me really wanted to upload just this section to YouTube because I love it, but I was like, you know what? This one is only for people who commit to watching this project. It's for you guys listening right now. And then this guitar riff like fucking electrifies my soul. Like, fuck yeah, dude. And again, these lyrics. That's fucking Shinji, dude. He's letting people in. One idea I did kind of sacrifice, you'll see with this ending. I don't really include how Yui talks about, she's in the Ava and it's like the confirmation that humanity existed. I cut it because one, I just wanted the moment for Shinji and Yui. I don't like that like Fuyutsuki is there. And also it just didn't. I don't know. It's not necessary. This is about them saying goodbye, and so because of that, I did use it one more time. This time the film version, because I love the violin in the background. So yeah, like, yeah, these words like don't go here. I move them around, but I love these words. They're so important to me. Yeah. Mother, did it need to be so high? All right, outside the wall. All right, this is it. This is the end. If you are listening to this, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I would hope that if you're watching this, that means you've already seen this film. Um, so to dedicate that time again to listen to me talk about it, I really appreciate it. If you're not listening to this and you just watched the film, thank you. If you watched any portion of it, thank you. If you shared it, liked it, anything, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the most important thing I've ever worked on, except maybe the film I did with my class. That means the world to me, but individually, this thing means the world to me. I'm just really proud of it. Um, it stinks that it's kind of hard to get it out there because of copyright. Um, but it's been seen. I know that for a fact, and that's enough for me. Um, so I'm really happy with it and all the work that was done on it. You know, for some final insight, obviously this was a thing decided from the beginning. Outside the Wall would be played for this perfect ending. It's one of my favorite endings in anything. Um, just in my opinion, again, it's very debated, seeing what it means, but to me, it's just what this whole experience was about. It's like people I think instinctually, or at least those who struggle with connection, kind of lash out, reject others. But once we get just that slightest care, we can, you know, ease up, let our walls down, and, let them in. I think it's really beautiful. For Shinji and Asuka, I think you can say there's maybe coming out of this experience, some of those feelings they were experiencing kind of they come out here. But I think it's a larger statement on connection. And Asuka's words at the end here, I think kind of, you know, it's a little cynical, but I think sums up just this human connection a lot. But yeah, that's it. Again, thank you so much. Um, I have a lot more coming that I'm working on. I have my edit channel that I'm gonna keep doing edits for, but I also have my main channel, Metaloid, and I'm gonna be posting a lot to that. Gonna be talking about a lot of movies and shows. I'm maybe gonna play games. Really, just gonna do whatever I want on there. So if you're interested in that, if you somehow like hearing me talk, check it out. But yeah, thank you so much again. Uh, yeah, have a good one. See you again later. Bye.